Do you live to work or work to feed your meth addiction like Diane? According to a new Gallup poll, 70% of American workers are either checked out or actively disengaged from their jobs. Gallup estimates that all the loafing around cost the country $550 billion a minute.
What?
Yes. Those most likely to be going through the motions at work were millennials, whatever that is. I thought that's a cookie. Baby boomers, people with college degrees, and guys named Gary. Jeez, thanks for ruining the economy, Gary. Discuss in the
lightning round. Lightning round.
Mike, you do a lot of tough jobs.
I do.
You do. Is this just a wussified generation? Are we too hard on them? What's going on here?
You know, I think so. I mean, I think all the problems, right, from the skills gap, unemployment, all the stuff we normally talk about is, oh no, this thing happened. I just think we took some really bad advice.
Yeah.
You know, some really, really awful advice. And one of the things we're working on now is this idea that, you know, that cliche, work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
Was more than a platitude, but something people actually believed. Like if you Google it, it's everywhere, right? And my guidance counselor had here. Can I break out a visual aid?
Yeah, sure.
I know that.
He's got a gun!
Look out! Run for your life. So
Take Jesse.
this is on my guidance counselor's wall in 1979.
Yeah.
Right. Work smart, not hard. So I mean, that's the thing, right? You got
That's wrong. You're saying that's wrong.
I'm saying it's worse than wrong. If wrong were people, this would be China, right?
Okay.
This is like as wrong as it's basically, if you don't get a degree, you're going to wind up like this guy.
And when you were saying, what's wrong with that guy?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
That it's not bad being that dude.
I'm saying this dude, like on dirty jobs, I mean, we did 300 of these things. And that guy, maybe 35 of the people we met on the show were multimillionaires.
Yeah, you can make money working hard.
I mean, they own their own business, they're entrepreneurs, and we never really talked about it because it wasn't that kind of show.
Yeah.
And they're covered in crap as well.
Yeah.
But the point is, those jobs are never on the table when people talk seriously about careers.
Yeah. I actually, make a lot of money covered in crap. But, those rich old men die so easily. Jesse, do you feel like the teens that you manage at Orange Julius genuinely want to be there? Is that why you get them drunk and touch their breasts clumsily as they leave?
No, I get them drunk so I can write balls on their forehead when they pass out. I mean, seriously, grow up.
Wise up.
Grow up.
You are a good American.
No, look, all right, we can use this show as a microcosm of that example. I mean, do you really think that when you and Tom throw together yet another lazily constructed Orange Julius or Hot Topic reference that you guys aren't phoning it in at this point? I mean, there isn't even continuity with all of the many assistant managerial jobs that I have at the mall.
It's true.
Or maybe you're just a hard multitasking worker.
I have 16 jobs at the mall.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. And you have underage girlfriends and boyfriends.
I do. Yeah.
And a lot of keychains.
Somehow drug them to get them to come to a Smash Mouth concert with me. Or some version of
And you somehow still have enough time to be skateboarding around the 7-Eleven until someone gives you enough change to buy candy.
In addition to impersonating Herman Munster on occasion. That's the trifecta of jokes that you hit me on.
You know what? It's because we love you. Not really, but a lot of people say that awkwardly to transition out of something. Diane, like companies will have these goofy outings. I worked at a place called Rodell where they used to have these big picnics and stuff. Is that why we have them? Because secretly we all hate where we work?
I mean, it's fine to try to do things to, boost morale and keep sort of a spirit of teamwork going at the office. But the bottom line is if 70%, if I could say 70, if 70% of Americans don't like their jobs and are phoning it in, there are 2 billion Chinese and Indian people who would love those jobs. And if Americans don't give their employers more of a reason to keep the jobs here, that's exactly where they're going.
Yeah. Bill, I don't like your job.
I think the problem with this is the obvious answer would be the internet, right? Because you've got something right in front of you that allows you to do anything but your job. But it's not the internet. It's cubicles. Now, as you know, we don't have any. So you can walk by my desk or Andy's desk any day and see what we're doing. And the sites that we're on are awful, but it's for the show.
Yes.
Other people are on the same sites and they can't use that excuse. But they can do it because there's something covering them that allows them to be left to their own devices. You get rid of the cubicles, you'll have more productivity.
Yeah, you know, it was interesting because like Bill always uses the excuse it's for the show, and he always tells HR that we like doing an hour every week. We're doing an hour documentary on overweight she-males.
Yes.
And it's an interesting thing that you've become kind of like a pioneer.
I spent 3 hours in HR convincing them that they had to unblock trannytruckers.org.
Yes.
And they did.
Yeah, they did.
You're welcome, News Corp.
Exactly.
What does Germans urinating on each other have anything to do with red eye?
Have you seen last night's A Block? Because you shouldn't, because it had nothing to do with that. I just like watching it.
It was entertaining.
Yes.
And by the way, that's how it got the name Red Eye.
Because it stings.
All right, we're going to take a break. More stuff on the way. The Joy of Hate, Amazon.com, autographed copy, Gutfeld.com. It's the greatest book ever written by a guy named Greg Gutfeld. Jesse's mad because we didn't get to a story that he'd written a really good joke for. What was it on? Sexting?
Yeah.
All right, give me your sexting joke.
It was just that it's 1 in 5 people don't care if somebody sexts them. And I was just going to say, like, let's look at this table, for example. Like, there's not a lot of attractive, you know what I mean? Like, would you really feel threatening your marriage if Bill sent a photo to your wife of his leathery ribcage? It would have been funny if never mind.
It would have been funny if it came out of Seth MacFarlane's mouth.
Just mean-spirited. You're just a jerk. You're just a jerk.
All right, we got to get to this segment.
Also, I'm dying of hepatitis. So thanks for nothing. You know what? You got to know your audience.
I know, it's like,
I'm
wow.
sorry you had to see that, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm taking my medicine.
Greg, Greg, I know what you two both pay, so don't put me to the test, Munchkin.
Well, he knows reality shows like I know Extra Toes. It's true. I'm up to 14 and counting. My next guest, obviously, was a host of the awesome Discovery Channel series Dirty Jobs. He's also the narrator of great programs like American Chopper, which is about salads, Deadliest Catch, which is about VD, and Ghost Hunters. He's been with us all night, so let's talk to him about stuff and things. Mike, I got a huge list of reality shows that I want to run by you, but first, I want to get this stuff out of the way. What's the foundation? Tell me about the foundation, the Works Foundation.
Yeah, Mike Rowe Works, Profoundly Disconnected. These are essentially the products of a guilty conscience. Dirty Jobs was good for me, you know, and the industries that we featured have very specific sorts of challenges. So we give scholarships to kids who want to learn a skill or master a trade.
This is amazing because what you believe is that we're a nation of unskilled people.
I believe we're a nation that used to value a very specific set of skills, and we've become disconnected from those skills to the point where we just don't, it's not that we hate them or malign them, we just don't care, we just don't see them.
Right, exactly, but we do tend to value things like a liberal arts education, which allows people for 4 years to drink a lot.
Yeah, and look, God bless, I have one. I wouldn't trade it in, but I also went to a community college for 2 years because I didn't know my ass from a hot rock. You know? And I also didn't have any money. And
he puts hot rocks in his ass.
Well, you know what? There it is. We should talk.
Now that you're more aware, well, yeah, we'll discuss
It's on hotrockass.org.
.org. It's always funny. These are hot rocks, not pop rocks. So
No.
Super clear.
Mikey died from one of them. Yeah.
Pop rocks is for older guys. Anyway.
So yeah, that. Right. No, we're.
I know.
Okay. No.
You're trying, but
here it is. I have something important to say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here it is. You have $1 trillion in student loans.
Right.
They're probably going to forgive a hunk of it, so we're screwed there. And then you have 3 million jobs that actually exist that people aren't trained for.
Yeah.
So you have a skills gap, and you have a bunch of debt, and a lot of it, I think, is just because we don't value the opportunities that are available. So
No,
there.
I think you're absolutely right. We've been talking about this forever. Or maybe a couple of days. Yeah, a couple of days we've been talking about. Do you think that applications should do away with like degrees requirement?
No, look, I mean, see, the thing is, whether it's days or years you've been talking about this, anytime you start talking about the value of like a vocational background, people immediately think you're anti-college.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, white collar, blue collar, but the truth is both of those are kind of passé. It's a gray collar world. You know? And so, look, to be educated but not trained is to essentially waste a bunch of time and money to learn a useful skill and to be able to apply it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? I was in Vegas, I think it's 3 months ago.
Must be
and
nice.
It was okay, honestly. I lost pretty big, but I ran into this woman who runs the Caterpillar dealership in town, right?
You can sell caterpillars?
Well,
Not if they're very hungry.
Greg. It's a type
no
of machinery.
Oh,
yes, tell him. It's the bulldozer, the excavator, the backhoe.
I know what they are.
20 jobs.
He lives
heavy-
under a toadstool, so he runs more into creatures of the woods more frequently.
I have a white collar job and you have a no collar job. Go ahead.
That's Middle Earth, man. That's a whole different world.
Hey, you know what? I'm here. I can hear all of this.
I'm not convinced. Anyhow, I forgot my damn point. I thought it was going pretty well.
Caterpillar
too.
dealership.
Caterpillar
And then
dealership.
Bilbo interrupted you with some nonsense. So good.
All right. I want to talk to you. Okay,
Yes,
quickly.
yes.
Caterpillar dealership, she said to you.
I got 21 jobs for skilled workers on heavy equipment, starting at 60 grand, going up to 120. Can't fill any of them
Wow.
in a state with 14% unemployment. That's what's screwed
That's the
up.
problem.
That's the problem.
You can't fit. You can't find this to put into this.
Well, and when you need those services done, you can't find someone to do the job because there's a shortage of people to build homes, to build
That's the
buildings,
point.
to do all the
See,
jobs you're talking
everybody
about.
thinks the problem is between the workers and the companies. The problem is if you're addicted to paved roads and
Yeah.
smooth runways and indoor plumbing and electricity.
Someone needs to install all
A
of that.
lot of the people can do with the caterpillars, but once they morph into a beautiful butterfly, where are we going to get the workers, Greg? Mexico.
And caterpillars can make smooth roads, but not butterflies.
Nope.
All right. You're the reality show king, kind of like of the tough shows.
Great.
So I came up with some that I've been thinking about for a while. Deadliest Babies.
Not
It's
bad.
about oversized infants who beat up their older siblings.
Sure.
What do you think about that?
I think it's going to resonate in the heartland. I do some testing first with the right soundtrack and some really prescient casting. I think you have a win.
All right. What about crab nappers? These are people who like to sleep underwater.
Sure. Well, I mean, there's going to be a union issue right away. The whole Gill lobby is going to be up in arms. But if you can get past that, I think crustaceans are very hot.
Yeah, they are hot. They are
I got
hot
one.
crustaceans. Yes.
No, how about little people, big cats?
Oh, nice.
It's just midgets in a jaguar sanctuary.
I like that.
Right?
That's awesome.
It's like the Hunger Games where they can't run fast.
True
dare
story.
you.
A guy pitched a show about midgets who were also clairvoyants, and I swear you can't make it up. It was called Small Mediums at Large.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
That's genius.
And they
That's-
almost bought it on the
just
title.
on the name alone. That's
I have
brilliant.
nothing as good as that. I do have something. Moist Wipe Wars. It's two companies that are making moist wipes, but they're battling it out for supremacy.
Actually, it was the green room just prior to the show.
Yes, it was, wasn't
And
it?
it's a battle no one wins.
And no, it's true. Animal Bride. That's where a man marries a skunk and love is in the air.
Yes, of course. Yes. I smelled that coming.
What about something about Bill's dealer in Jersey, Coke Boss? Huh? What do you think of that? Right? Do a show called Coke Boss?
He doesn't like it when you mention him on air.
Ixnay on the
Can we talk? I want to talk to the producer after the show. We got to fix some things.
Ghost eaters. These are people who think their food is haunted, yet they eat it anyway.
My favorite part of, I mean, yes, of course it's a winner.
Yes.
But you've got to understand where like the paranormal programming is now. I mean, literally, the whole thing is based on if you can hear us in the room, and they're talking to
Yes.
just air.
Yeah.
I know.
You know, and it used to be if you can hear us in the room, give us a sign, make a sound. But now it's like, you know, if you can hear us and you're here, don't do anything at all.
Yes.
And, you know, people are like, all right, it's haunted. It's happening. This is really happening.
Dirty Laundry. It's about a laundromat that's really a front and owned by a mafia family.
Ooh.
Do you like that one?
Oh, I don't. No. No, I don't like that. I feel like the whole like Real Housewives thing is
Yes.
touched on, the mob thing.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
over.
Just, you know what? Let them.
That's a hard show to do. What about Pond Monkeys? It's about genius chimps who trade stuff for bananas.
Slam dunk.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is
That's
amazing.
very good.
I'd like to say I came up with it, so I will, even though Bill did.
And it wasn't even me. It was Mr. O'Reilly.
I was, Mr. O'Reilly. This is kind of, maybe this is too weird. Pet cemetery sex kittens. These are hot women who work at a pet cemetery.
Well, I like the use of sex kittens with the cemetery reference because, as you recall, there was a cat
Yes.
in Pet Cemetery.
Yes.
Anybody
How could I
remember his
forget?
name? What was the name?
Alphonse.
Come on.
No, it's Azrael.
The thing is, your metaphor is fantastic. 31 shows came out of Dirty Jobs over the years,
Yeah.
and they're all like the dead cat.
Yeah.
Like, right, they come back, and they're there, you can see them. They're not really a cat,
As long
though.
as they're not like the dead kid. He's the one that kept me up at night.
Gage. I remember Gage.
Gage was the kid's name?
Gage was the kid's name.
Stay away from me, Gage.
Yeah,
You
but
haunt
the
my
cat-
nightmares.
We got to find out the cat's name, because it's
How about invention intervention, where you stop people from inventing things?
Right, right. No, that's not bad at all, because if you consider all of the unintended consequences that have come from
Yes.
inventions, yeah, you could.
If that show was on the air, they could have stopped this bit.
Like right now,
Yeah.
somebody would throw a flag. Good.
The,
All right, do I have to go now?
the Amazing Racist? How about that one? Come on, everybody.
Amazing. Finally,
Set
he
in the
does-
40s in Germany.
finally he pipes in with something.
But it's
I've
effed up that
had
you want to
several.
host.
All right, go.
I did have several. I nailed them. Project One Way was versus food. I don't know. There's something about that they all fight over one.
Chicken wing.
Yeah, exactly right. So, but I already did the strong ones.
Okay.
Coke
He already
boss.
did. I like it. You are like such an economical comic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's not going to work.
The economical comic. We did guys.
The economical.
How much? I won't pay.
Yes. All right.
Here's a joke
How
instead.
much for half a joke?
We got the post-game report for TV's Andy Levy.